Hello everybody, this is a new series I'm starting called Fish Hole Finder, where I try to find places that might have fish that have little to no information. So starting off, we're going to be looking at Westfork, up in Pocatello, Idaho, at Mink Creek Corridor. And here's a really awesome trail and an awesome bridge on the trail. The guy who made it must be really good at building bridges. But anyways, we're going to go up. I looked on Google Maps and there is a couple ponds that I wanted to check out. There's another bridge. And I was just going to check the river to see if there's any fish in it. Because I couldn't really find anything about this area. So up I went with my Tenkara pole to find some fish maybe. And I found this little ancient... it's got to be something used for the water system. This is actual... water that's used for the city, so I'm assuming this was the old system. And eventually we got into this willow reed, which is a good sign that there's going to be some water. I don't know what that thing is. I'm going to assume it's for measuring water quality or levels or something. And we're getting closer. It's quite a ways up. I'm probably about 3 miles now. And I saw the first big water area, and it's actually stopped by a dam. And there's a water level reader. Alright, so I finally found this pond, and I was excited to go see, because if the fish were up here, they'd probably be in there. I found these cool little shack building things, and I would assume they just had to be the old water system before it got updated. You can just see it's a little, almost like a well. Not sure, but there's a lot of them around here. And this area was super marshy, and it was hard to get to this little pond covered in weeds, but eventually did look into it. I didn't see any fish and looked kind of shallow. I looked around for quite a bit. I looked where it went, but my conclusion is there wasn't any fish in there. So we get to the end of this trail that leads to Elk Meadows. And, you know, I was a little disappointed we didn't see any fish. But I was like, hey, you know, maybe if they're not in the pond, maybe they're lower down the stream, perhaps. So I went to look again. And this was right by the water line reader. It was just covered in rocks, so that's not a good sign. And it went through just pure grass. You can see it's really tight and channelized. And actually... this section is coming through a pipe, so you know all things are not looking good to there being fish up here. But I went down. I did find a couple good holes that might have a fish. I didn't see anything in there, and again another couple dams. So it's just really not looking good for any fish in this area, and there's a lot of little waterfalls in addition to the dams, and it's just not great habitat. And it goes through some culverts, and here's it lower down the trail. It does have some good aeration, so maybe. Here's it going down under the second bridge. And like, you know, maybe, but it's really shallow, and the holes weren't too good. And then here we are at the trailhead. Alright, so this fish hole finder criteria is going to be based off of 3 things that I stole from Mythbusters. It's either going to be confirmed I caught a fish, or I saw a fish and I think I could catch them. Plausible, where I think, you know, a fish could live here, I just didn't see it, or, you know, other factors could play. And then busted, where I really don't think any fish will live here. So for this one, I gave it a plausible, because I think there could be fish hiding somewhere if they got stuck after, you know, they got dammed, or if they're stocked. The pond I saw, I really don't think fish would be living in there. It's just too stagnant, too shallow, especially for trout. And then the other little streams were really small, super channelized. But I didn't walk every inch of this river, and you know, it's always possible people have been stalking it, or they're just trapped somewhere and didn't see them. So I give it a plausible. I don't think I'd try again. But since there's really no information of any fish up here, it's really yet to be seen if you can fish in Westfork. So I give it a plausible. Just for fun at the end here, I went down the road to a spot outside the group site, Mink Creek group site, just to see. And, you know, I went down, I looked in there, and I actually saw a little fish. I think it was a trout. So I decided to try to fish it. And I did get little minnows nibbling at it, but that was about it. Then I went to Cherry Springs to try it out, and I did catch a trout, a little brown trout, right outside the parking lot by the bridge. And it was basically an immediate bite for my first cast, which was crazy. And then my story ended when my hook got snagged in a little branch. So if you want to catch fish, I guess go to Cherry Springs and try the nature trail. Or you might have some luck by the group site. I just didn't catch anything. Alright, so if you have any info, post it here maybe, and maybe I'll come back and look for some more fish up here. Thanks.